Hey. Shh. 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 Jonathan, just make sure not to let the cat out. Okay, the black and white cat, don't let her out the front. The patio doors are closed now? Okay. Yeah, let's make sure the patio doors are closed. Oh my goodness. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, so it's super loud here, and we've had work people here for the last 5 days. And hopefully this is the last day. So we've had, amazing things are happening. We've had, we've had new landscaping. We've had new paving things done, new walls outside, new work in the garden. We've had the pool. They were doing some work on the swimming pool. They were doing some, we have no termites. We got checked today for our annual checkup. And so we are in phase 3 of having hurricane windows installed in our house. And the last phase is the sliding glass door, which is what's going on right now. And it is super loud here, and it is not, they're not done. So we will not be, and so my dogs are barking, and you can hear the hammering and the drilling and things in the background and people coming and going. And it's been here since last Thursday, Friday, Wednesday. So we've had just a lot going on, and that is okay because it's all good things. But that means it is not a great environment for me to do individual readings today, but I will do, what's going on with my hat? But I will do the collective reading, of course, and there's some things I really wanted to share, and so I didn't want to cancel. It would be a real easy thing to say, oh, there's workmen in the house and I can't really do a thing today. But there's some things I really want to share because we are about ready to get into Mercury retrograde, right? So Mercury retrograde is going to start tomorrow, and it is important that we are understanding that we will be okay. So, but I also want to share that because so Mercury retrograde is going to go all the way through to almost the end of December. So it's going to, in the first half of December. So it's going to end on the 14th of December, but we know we have the 2 weeks of the pre-window and the post-window. So it's really going to be to the very end of December that we're going to be feeling the effects of it. So Mercury retrograde is going to start tomorrow. But the other thing I really wanted to talk about is because we are having Pluto, because I know a lot of people have been really concerned about some things that are going on around the world and in our country, in this country, and all of that. So I really wanted to take some time to talk with you about a few things today because Pluto has made a move. Pluto is now in Aquarius, and we've been talking a lot about Pluto this year because Pluto's orbit, we know the orbits of things. Hello. The orbits are elliptical, right? They're not round like the ball, they're oval. And so Pluto being so far away, hello. Oh, dehydrated. Pluto being so far away has this, like all the planets, this elliptical orbit, and because Pluto's very far away, it takes almost 250 years for Pluto to come back around to be in our neighborhood where we're going to have, to be around Earth and our side of the solar system. And Pluto moves really, really slowly. I am in the dark. I'm sorry. As we get into as the sun goes down a little bit, it'll be better. And weirdly, I'm not in the dark on Instagram. I don't mean to be in the dark. Let's see. I don't think it helps at all if I think that just makes it darker. Oh, maybe that helps a little bit. Okay. So as you can see, there are work trucks, as I was saying before. So we won't do private individual carts today because we've had like 4 to 5 days of work people in the house, and so we're on the last part right now. You may hear the noises in the background. They're installing the last, the giant sliding glass door they're installing today. So for our updated hurricane windows and doors that have been installed over the last in batches over the last several months. The last one is today. So, okay, so Pluto, so it's very loud here. So Pluto has come around, and Pluto's orbit takes about almost just shy of 250 years to go around the sun, right? And for us, it takes 1 year, right? So Pluto's orbit is very big. Pluto's very far away. And so here you have Pluto now has come, and Pluto moves very slowly, right? We move different signs of the astrological sign every month with the sun, but Pluto moves over 18 months. And so Pluto is now in Aquarius. And what happens with Pluto is Pluto brings a lot. Now, we love Pluto, don't get me wrong, but thank you very much. We love Pluto, but Pluto brings out the shadow side of whatever astrological sign that it's in. And so right before the American election, Pluto moved into Aquarius. And so you have people talking about, oh, the age of Aquarius, and isn't that really lovely? But here we have with Aquarius, we are looking at this more progressive quality that Pluto has. And Aquarius is really is the part of us that helps us face difficult things and can help bring us to a place of healing and to help us look for the positives. But at the same time, in Pluto, Aquarius, it can help us to face these difficult things and to really look for the healing and the sunshine, the silver lining in the rain cloud. But Aquarius brings up the shadow side, and so Aquarius is going to bring up the more progressive side of looking for the silver lining. Pluto is going to bring up the more aggressive side of wanting to fix things, wanting to change things, wanting to move forward in a different way. And so this is really important because we're really feeling that, and we saw this in the election here in this country, that people are really moving and voted in a way that is, we want change, we want big change, we want dramatic change, we want things dealt with, and we don't really necessarily care if they're dealt with in the right way or not. We just want something to happen. And that's kind of the shadow side of where Pluto is hitting in this time of Aquarius. So Pluto lets us look at this dark side of, we're going to see a lot going on with AI and things like that. But Aquarius represents society and humanity, and Pluto represents that underworld, okay? And so we've talked before about humanity's evolution through the chakras and how humanity is really in this time of using the throat chakra. And so this is the time that people have really stood up and the American election was a lot closer than the winning side would want you to believe, but it was something like less than 2%. But we have this group of people who have stood up and said, we want change right now. And so this is this time of charisma and charismatic leadership and people who talk a pretty game that are going to be rising to the top. But it's interesting because we have that underside that Pluto lets us see, the underside of, the darker side or the shadow side of an astrological sign. We're also going to be seeing that all flash, no substance, where people who want change are going to expect results, and when they may or may not get them, we're going to see reactions from that as well. So it's one of those really interesting times in the astrology of be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. And so that's a bit of what's going on right now. People who are talking really pretty words, but as people start to realize that they're not following through on what they've said, or they're not keeping promises, or the outcome is not, well, I didn't know it would look like that, or I didn't think it would look like that, or that's not what I meant. So there's going to be a lot of that right now. Now, again, we tune into Mercury retrograde, which officially is starts tomorrow. And this is this time to really zoom out and see this bigger picture. So we're in Aquarius, we have the sun is in work into Sagittarius, and then we have now Mercury retrograde where we is Sagittarius, right? Yes. And so then we have this zoom out of really this time of like, be careful what you wish for as we go forward during this Mercury retrograde, because you just might get it. Okay, and so if there are things that you've asked for the universe to help you, let's make sure that you're asking for the right reasons. Let's make sure that you are really seeing things with your eyes wide open, and that you're not seeing things through, rose glasses, or from a perspective that says, we talk a lot about staying in our lane, but there's a difference between staying in our lane and putting on blinders, right? So that we're seeing things for like, I only want to see from my perspective, and I don't want to hear from anybody else who has this, who has a different perspective. So just be careful with that, because Mercury retrograde is going to move into the Sagittarius as it starts, and this is really about seeing things from a different perspective, and Mercury retrograde excels at that, helping us see things from hey, okay, it's okay. Seeing things from a different perspective. And so we really want to use this time in Mercury retrograde to like zoom out and see things and like, is this really what I want? Is this really what I meant to ask for? That kind of things. Hello. So that's kind of where we are. And so that's why I didn't cancel today, because I really wanted to make sure that we had the opportunity to share some of this information that's really important, because as we're coming into Mercury retrograde, people are going to be like, oh, what is going on? Okay. So it is, more people. So we're going to do the collective card reading. We're not going to do individual cards today, because as I mentioned at the top of our time together, we have work people coming in and out like crazy. So there's still a whole lot of stuff going on, and a whole lot of people in my house don't live here. So and there's just a lot of noise, and you may or may not be able to hear it on your end, but it's very like there's just a lot that's going on with workers in the house, and very loud. So we will do the collective card reading, but I don't want to do the individual card readings, because I always want to make sure that my energy is completely focused on where you need it to be. So, and there went something else. Nice catch. So, all right. So yes, trying to convince yourself that trying to convince yourself things that you want, and that things are as you want and not as they are. Yes. So, keeping an understanding that this is a time of, this is a time of growth and expansion. This is, humanity right now as a really bitchy, mean middle schooler. And then no offense to middle schoolers, because they're not all like that, but middle school is a rough time. If you've got kids or you've had kids, thanks, sweetheart. Middle school is a rough time where people are, kids can be really mean. We never had any problems with, like, all the problems that we had with bullying and any of that kind of stuff was, like, when my kids were in middle school. So this is humanity is in middle school right now, and this is humanity really being a, really pissy teenager. And it's like, I want what I want, and I want it right now. And you can't tell me I can't have it. And that's really the energy that we're seeing on the grander scale right now. And then as we go forward, we're going to be able to see people go, well, is that really what I meant? I didn't really mean for that to happen. And so we're going to be wiser after Pluto moves out of this sign of Aquarius, but that keeping in mind that that's 18 months from now. So it's going to be a very interesting time. And so our job, as we are bringers of light and keepers of light, our job is to be able to be like, okay, we understand that these things are happening, and we're going to keep our cool. And we understand that Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius is trying to help us open up our eyes and see things from a different perspective, and see things from like zoom out and see things from a broader perspective, and to be able to everybody okay over there? Okay, and to be able to see things from this bigger perspective. So our job is to keep our feet on the ground. Our job is to keep cool. Our job is not to freak out. And when things are going to get like, popcorn, things are going to start happening and changing, our job is to be like, okay, all of this is still working for the growth of humanity, even when it feels like, what the heck are these people thinking about? So it is still for the growth of humanity, and that we are still evolving. And so right now, like I said, we're just, humanities in middle school. And so we learn as we get older and we get out of middle school and into high school, we learn we don't have to throw a hissy fit every 5 minutes for, just so we don't get something we want, that we learn that we can be more mature, we can discuss things, we can work things out together and collaborate and things like that. That's what we learn with maturity. And so humanity right now, this is where we are. So, but again, Pluto's going to move out of this sign from Aquarius in 18 months. So hang on. And Mercury retrograde on top of that is going to be the next, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay. All right, so when I pick the cards, we're going to do just general cards for today. So the first card that I pick is, what do we really need to know to get through this time of the week so that we can be together next week where it'll be more peaceful here at least. And this is the Poised card, and I love the Poised card because she's always throwing her head back in joy. She's like, this is not poised like, okay, this is poised like, I am ready, I trust the universe, I am ready to fly. I mean, look, she's like throwing her arms up, she is ready to fly, she's ready to go. And this is dancing. I mean, this is really like, I am ready to receive whatever it is the universe is bringing me, because this is energy that says, I totally trust that whatever the universe is bringing me is for my highest and best good. Okay, and so this is also card 48. And so 4 and 8 is 12. And so 1 and 2 is 3. So if you're not familiar with numerology, we take the 2 digits and we add them together. 4 and 8 is 12. We take those 2 digits and we add them together and we get 3. And 3 is, we're at the beginning. We're at the beginning of this journey, this new chapter, this new journey, right? And we had talked a lot before in the previous months about closing chapters, and we saw that coming up a lot. The thing I love about 3 cards is you have the 3, right? And then when it, to me, it's always like looking at a butterfly in silhouette. Okay, if you're looking at the butterfly in silhouette, see as the sun goes down a little bit here, and I get less dark over here in my office. But as the sun goes, so if you're looking at a butterfly in silhouette, right? We are looking at the butterfly in silhouette, and then with the 3, we have the butterfly, it opens. And so to me, that has always really been something good is coming, something is about to happen. There's more here than meets the eye. There's more here than what we're seeing. But we want to really to be open to the possibilities that there's other things that are coming, and that there's more to this. And so while it's 3, and yes, we're at the beginning of a journey, there's more things that are going on. And so it's important for us to allow for that possibility of opening up to what's coming, as opposed to looking at 3 and going, oh, we're at the beginning. This is going to be so hard. We have to climb the whole mountain. And I just don't know, And so to open to that possibility that there's more that's there. So for me, that's really where the 3 number has always hit. 3 is also a really strong angel card. It's an angel number that suggests that angels are with us. And again, we have that like an opening the wings that comes from that. Okay, so where are the speed bumps? What are the things we need to look out for here? And this is coming in upside down. And this is no peace like home. Okay, and this card comes in upside down. And so when the card comes in upside down, it's really about getting us out of that comfort zone. And that is, boy, that's going to be the next 18 months, is we're going to be out of our comfort zone whether we want to or not, regardless of what your political affiliation is, regardless of what side of the election or anything that you might be on, left, right, up, down, black, white, blah, blah. We're all going to be pulled out of our comfort zones this time. And so this is really important that we are understanding this no peace like home, that this is a good thing, that it is really under like an important period of growth for all of humanity. Yeah, let me put it up in right side up. So it says no peace like home. This is the card right side up, but it comes in upside down, and it's reminding us that it is time to get out of our comfort zones. And guess what? We're going to get out of our comfort zones this period of time, whether you want to or not. So you might as well ride the wave and see what the universe has in store for you. And this is the thing about Mercury retrograde. We come into Mercury retrograde, a lot of people come in and they're like, la, 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 la. They don't want to hear about it because they're very upset. Thank you. They're very unhappy that it's all going to be, thank you, that it's all going to be like some terrible thing. Everything bad happens in Mercury retrograde, la, la. But the thing is that Mercury retrograde is like riding the wave. And so if you just allow the wave to go, because if the waves are coming in, you're not going to stop the tide. The tide is going to come in. And so if you allow it and you move your lawn furniture out of the way so it doesn't get washed away, something wonderful could wash up on the shore for you. But we have a positive expectation. We're going to receive Mercury retrograde and everything else that goes with it with a more positive expectancy, more positive outcome. And if you are, oh, I just realized that my headphones are on, so let me turn those off so that I can make sure that you all are hearing me well. When you are okay, when you are girding yourself for the worst, then guess what we're attracting? And so when we understand that there's no peace like home, we understand that there is something bigger going on. So if you look at the cloud, this is a birdhouse that is hanging up on a hook high up on the sky, right? High up. But what you see is this beautiful moon, and you see this beautiful sunset, and you see this calm, clear sky. There's no waves, there's no wind, things are not, exploding just because we're seeing things from a different perspective, okay? And this is also, again, being ourselves, but it's talking, you see posts about adults telling, what? Está bien. Telling their kids and grandkids of mercury in the Gatorade. Okay. Oh, mercury in the Gatorade. Okay, that's cute. So this is really, again, about trusting the universe and trusting that all the things that are coming up right now are for our evolution and to help us with the humanity's growth and our growth. When we get pushed out of our comfort zone, it is to our benefit. We may not like it because we don't like change. We are a change-resistant species. It's not just, you or me or we are generally a change-resistant species. And so when we, have this, like, we're going to get pulled out of our comfort zone, the universe is like, look, you didn't do it. We tried to get you out of your comfort zone. You're still in your comfort zone. Here we go. We're just going to rip that puppy out by the roots. Let's go. Now, I would like to point out that this card is also card 50. So that means we're talking about climbing the hill, right? So we really are higher up than we, are they done? He's backing his truck away.
They're going to
Oh, okay. So we are really in a, so they're gone for right now?
Yes.
It's going to be quiet. I can do cards. Yay. Okay. All right. So we'll do some cards. Okay. So I guess the guys left because they need to go do something. Okay, great. So we're the no peace like home card is number 5. So we just saw the 3 that says, hey, you're climbing the mountain, you're getting, this is a new chapter. And so here's 5 that says keep going. Okay, when we see the numbers going in sequential order, it's the universe is telling us to keep going. Okay, keep the faith, keep going. Okay, so this is where we are with no peace like home. And again, this came in upside down. Ah la la, you are a spammer, and we ban spammers. We have no patience for spammers. Bye. All right. Any other spammers? Bye. Okay. All right. So the third card is what else do we need to know? So we'll try and get our cards done before the guys get back and start making noise again. And this is time to go. This card is time to go. Okay. And this is also about zooming out and seeing things from that other perspective. And time to go says, listen, we've got to try something new. We've got to, we've got to see things from a different perspective, which is what Mercury retrograde is really here to show us and to help us with. And Pluto also. So here it is, this card, this basically that says, you've got to try something else because what you're doing isn't working. And so this is us as humanity, but this may be us as individual people as well. And then this card again is 4 and 5, which is 45. So 4 and 5 is 9. So it's very interesting. They're all odd number cards. So we have 3, 5, and 9, but we are moving in perspective. We are moving forward. And so the universe is telling us, like, hey, look, we know things are challenging right now. We know things are going to be a little bit difficult and bumpy, but we're here. We've got you. And if you are willing to come out of your comfort zone, because you're going to have to whether you want to or not, and you're willing to see things from a different perspective and try something else, then we're going to bless you and we're going to support you. And you're moving. This is part of your progress that is going to take you from A to B to Z to go from 3 to 5 to 9. So everything is actually in the right way. You just may not like it. Okay, and that's a hard thing for people to get their head around. All these things are still working for our highest and best good. You just may not like it. We may not like it. Again, we are a change-resistant group as species. All right, so let's take advantage of the gift of some time here. So one of the things that happened, I will tell you all this funny thing. One of the things that happened is in my bathroom, in my master bathroom, we had the big window over the bathtub. It's this big, giant window with glass brick. Well, it's very heavy and it's been sinking, and it's also very ugly. It's very dated. And so when they put in the new windows, they took out that window and they put in a nice, beautiful new hurricane-safe window, but it is a very big window with no window covering on it in my bathroom, which means that you can look in the window from anywhere in half of my backyard and pretty much see all the way into my bedroom and anywhere in my bathroom. So that's been a little bit problematic. So that's one of the things that was on their list of fixing today, because they put in the window and it's beautiful, but there was a couple little hiccups with it. So that was one of the first things, which is why you have not got me showered today, because I couldn't get in my bathroom. So, all right, we're going to do some individual cards while the guys have gone to apparently Home Depot to get some other things that they need for finishing my sliding glass door. And I'm very, very excited, because at least this should be the end of the window installation, and then we'll have the inspector come next week. So that will be very fine. So it's not done in the yard yet. Love it when it all happens at once. All right, so if you are ready for a card and you would like to have a card, please do put it in the comments. I see Belinda's already in there, and I know a few other people had asked before when they said no, but now we're going to say yes, so definitely come back into the comments for me, okay? All right, so we have, for Belinda, this card is Here and Now, and this is card 32, so 3 and 2 is 5. Okay, and so this is Here and Now, Belinda. Now, this is very interesting because she's sitting on the egg, and this is a card that reminds us to be present. It comes in right side up. And Here and Now reminds us that this is about being present. This reminds us about knowing where you are. This is like, who am I? How do I want to show up? It's not just about being present in the moment, but it's about being present in yourself. It's about being present in your life and understanding who you are and how you want to show up in the world, Belinda. So you're not showing up as you feel like you're supposed to, or people would expect you, but that you are showing up in the way that is true to yourself and true to your soul. So Here and Now is not just talking about like being present in the moment, but it's talking about being present in yourself, okay? And this is also, if you notice that she is, you know, what does it say? It says fast, and I can't see what that says. Hold on. Okay, so you have this where she's going through the past and the future flags, but she's literally sailing along. Now, there are a little bit of storm clouds, but there's nothing major going on. This is not a hurricane or anything like that, because you can see her egg is straight up and the doors are open, the windows are open. She's up in the skylight, the roof here, and she's looking out and she's like seeing where she's going. And so, Belinda, this is just this reminder about being present in your moment, but being present in yourself. So she's at home in her space. This is her home space, and she's going forward, not worrying about the past or the future. She's going forward, okay? Understanding it's going to be a little bit bumpy, understanding that this is a 5 card, so you're kind of in the middle of the road. But it really is this great time for you to take a look at how am I showing up in the world, and am I being true to myself? Keeping in mind also Mercury retrograde is going to help make sure that you do that. So, so Mercury retrograde, I would tell you, Belinda, for anything that you are paying attention to, anything that seems to be coming up, definitely pay attention to looking at patterns, looking at things that might be trying to get your attention in Mercury retrograde, because those things are going to be really important that are going to align with this card about being present in the here and now, but also being present in your truest self. Okay, so that's Belinda. All right, so we've got a card relating to Chris's business, and we've got serendipity. So we've got serendipity. Serendipity I love, because serendipity is like when the universe is trying to like give you those little God winks. They're like, I told you, I showed you. Okay, and so here is serendipity. This is 18, card 18, so 1 and 8 is 9. So something is coming to an end for you. There's coming to, there may be the end of a contract, the end of because you asked specifically about your business, there may be an end of a relationship with some work that is no longer serving your highest purpose, but it's going to feel like, oh no, something is going away from me. But at the same time, what this card is talking about is no, we're clearing out, we're making room for new space. Because if you look at serendipity, all signs are going up. Okay, the flower is like the balloons, bunch of balloons, if you ever look, a bunch of balloons holding, and the flower is going up, and it is showing you that we are lifting you, we are taking you higher. You see, it's a beautiful day, it's a little bit dusk, you're coming to the end. So some piece of your business is going to be coming to the end. And so rather than lamenting and saying, oh gosh, what am I going to do with this? My suggestion is, as I'm reading this, is that it is something to be grateful for the relationship, grateful for the time spent in that space, and grateful for the opportunities to close that door with grace and to open and to be available for the thing that is coming next, okay? Because it feels like that there's something else that's coming, that this is trying to lift you away from something that you have done. This is a completion of a journey and to take you into a new space. So I feel like there's some other new business opportunity or even a new job that is going to reshape, because remember that that this whole Mercury retrograde, Sagittarius, Pluto, and Aquarius is all about seeing things from a different perspective and really looking at things from the other way around. So it does feel like something else is coming, but it feels like one door has to close. It's like an airlock. One door has to close so that we can be secure, and then the next door can open. So when it feels like this thing is going to go away from you and be like, oh no, this is really this opportunity to operate in gratitude and say, I'm so grateful to have had this opportunity. I can't wait to see what is coming next. Okay, so that's where we are with the serendipity card. And again, serendipity right on the first surface is about being open to those God winks, being open to those places where the universe is being like, gotcha, where we're trying to show you. So those things that feel like coincidence, definitely take a higher look at those things, because the things that feel like coincidence are going to be those breadcrumbs trying to get the universe to get you, the universe trying to get you to look in a new direction. Okay? All right. Hello. I love seeing your name pop up. All right. So we have Steve. All right. My new friend, Steve. All right. So this is a change in the, oh, isn't that so interesting? This is a change in the wind, but it came in upside down. So this is a change in the wind. Oh, Bianca, you're in both places. All right. So Steve, this is change in the wind, and this is change, card number 12. So 2 and 1 is 3. So we talked before about 3, about the possibilities of opening up, and the angels are supporting us and having that there's more there than meets the eye. But this comes in upside down, this change in the wind card, and so this is really interesting, because so when we have change in the wind, it's jumpy. It's one of those things that we just look at it, we say, well, okay. And so this card is going to remind you that to roll with it. Okay, so we know that there's some changes that are coming in your way, on your path, that we've talked about before. But this is going to say this is not going to be as smooth as you might have expected it to be. Everything's been smooth as sauce lately. And so this is saying, like, you know what, there's going to be some bumps in the road, but just roll with it. Okay, and so when we have the change in the wind card that is upside down, it's really the card that it just is like, you know, what is that smiley face? Don't worry, be happy, right? So that's really the upside down message for this card is don't worry, be happy. That when it feels like some of those bumps are coming in the road, it's just really important to remember that they're just bumps. They're not mountains, okay? And that things can feel more because we're in retrograde and Pluto and all those things. And don't get thrown by any of that. And just keep you've got a pretty even keel about you, my friend. So just keep on with that, and just don't even worry about, because the more energy that we put into things that are of worry, the more power that we give them. And so there is change coming for you. We've talked about that before, but what they're saying in this card is it's not going to be quite as smooth sailing as we expected it to be, and that's okay. It's not a thing for you to worry about. Okay, all right. Don't make a meal about it. All right. So we are going to have, who was after Steve? We have Laura Lou. And yes, and then I see you are so welcome, Belinda. You are so welcome. All right, so we've got Laura Lou, and we've got Bianca and Esther. All right, so we've got Laura Lou. Let's see, I was waving to over here, Bianca. So, all right, so we have Laura Lou. Laura Lou, this is to the sea. This is card 7. Okay, so Laura Lou, this is just relax and let things play out. Okay, so this is to the sea, and you can look in the card and you can see she's going forward. The weather vane is pointing in the direction. The telescope is behind her. The sea is calm. You can also see the face up here, which is the possibilities. This is creation. This is the universe, right? And we're being, guided in all of those things. And so this is this reminder that just let it go, let it ride, let it play out, let things, this is not a time to worry. Similar to the message I just gave to Steve, this is not a time to worry and panic. This is a time to Laura Lou to just let it ride. Okay, so then they say in Vegas, right? Let it ride. Just let it ride. Let it play out. You don't need to do anything. Just let things come and evolve as they will, because that's going to be the best way for them to come out in your highest good. And if you are trying to control it, then you're going to monkey with the system that the universe has put in place for you to have smooth sailing. Okay, all right, so that's for Laura Lou. All right, so then we're going to have Bianca. You are welcome, Steve. Welcome. All right, so Bianca and Esther. I'm so happy it worked out. I was feeling bad about, I always feel bad when I have to say no. So happy to not have to say no, but I'm also so happy that we're going to be done with the window soon. Okay, so Bianca, this is upside down. This is exchanging gifts. This is one of my favorite cards. This is card number 27. So 2 and 7 is 9. So something is also coming to the end for you as well. And so this is such a pretty card. And again, when this card comes in upside down, this is about keeping, especially as we're coming to the holidays, this is about really keeping boundaries. This card is about understanding, are we exchanging gifts or is there manipulation being involved here? Am I over giving? Am I, is somebody taking too much? Is it feeling unbalanced? Now, we know that there's times when things are not always balanced, right? People always talk about, oh, the balanced life, right? Everything should be balanced. And that's a bunch of baloney. I mean, I've been a working mom for, my kids are 26 and 23. So, I mean, having balance is a misnomer. What we want is flow. What we want is flow. So I never think about it like having a scale, but I always thought about it as a juggler who has 3, 4, 5, 6 balls in the air, because there's a rhythm to it. If you're watching a juggler, there's a rhythm to it, right? And so that's what we're looking for. And so when we have this, Bianca, we're looking for the rhythm. So we're saying, okay, I'm giving, and there are going to be flows where sometimes you've got the guy, who's got 2 or 3 balls that are going in one hand while the other hand is doing something else, okay? So sometimes it's not always going to be even. Like, you may need more help because something's going on, or they may need more help and you're giving it because something's going on. But just make sure you're taking a bigger look and make sure there's not somebody who's trying to siphon off extra energy or take advantage of your good nature. So this card, exchanging gifts, when it comes in upside down, is reminding you to make sure that you're setting boundaries and that you're not putting yourself overextended to the detriment of your own mental health, your rest, your family, whatever. That making sure that you are operating from a place that feels like a good, honest place, and that we're not people pleasing and we're not allowing others to take advantage. So there may be some boundaries that are in there, but let me get it where you can see it. So the exchanging of gifts is a beautiful card, but when it comes in upside down, it's just really one of those things that says, okay, do we need to look at how things are, what that rhythm is and how things are feeling? And then if it is feeling lopsided, to be able to, again, zoom out and look at the wider world and say, well, is this a short term? Like, when my dad had a stroke, about 10 years ago, he's doing great and, yay. But there was so much love and support around me because I couldn't hardly even tell you my name during that time. And that was, a period of time. And so it was, a couple months that totally sucked. And it was wonderful support around us. And then, things leveled out and we were able to give back to people who had helped with us and things like that. And so we understand that things happen, but we want to make sure, we've also, some of you have been around long enough, have also heard me tell the story of a relationship that just became very me, take, and I had to put some boundaries in place of saying, no, I'm not going to be part of that anymore. So it's just something to look at. So without glasses, the woman in the box looks like she's like a harlequin. She's like a harlequin. You put it like, you see her? She's like wearing a little, you're so funny. Okay, so that is for Bianca. All right, so we have Esther. You guys crack me up. So we have Esther. Esther, this is mending. Esther, this is mending. So this card comes in, this is mending. This card is card number 52. And this is a beautiful card because it really is about forgiveness and coming together and unity. You are welcome, my dear friend Bianca. And this is really about allowing things. But it's also, again, really like follows along very nicely with what Bianca's card was. That is remembering that we're not alone and that we can choose if we want to, if we need to ask for help, if we want to give help. Like, this is a time of forgiveness. Like, this is an opportunity, especially with everything that's going on with retrograde and Pluto. This is really a time for us to not be holding on to grudges, because this is going to be a time where everyone is going to have some of that shaking going on. And so with mending, we're really looking at places where are those petty things as we've come to the end of the year that we can let go of, or things that we can just stop carrying. Like, you don't necessarily need to reach out and fix something with somebody else, but maybe you don't have to keep holding the grudge or the annoyance about it. So it's something that you can look at and to be able to say, okay, where are things that I just don't have to worry about anymore? And what we were talking about with Laura Lou, also about going to the sea, about just letting things play out. So sometimes we have this where we've had some sort of altercation, some sort of tiff, and we have just said, okay, you know what? Well, I'm just going to put it to the side. We were, whatever she's going to do, he's going to do, whatever. We're just going to go to our corners, and then that's where things stay. So this card, Esther, is really asking you to look at what things are unfinished for you as we're coming into retrograde, because I'll tell you, they're going to come up for you. Okay, so whatever things that where you can be like, I know we didn't see eye to eye on that thing, and that is okay. I just want you to know I still love you. Okay, and you don't have to no one has to be right, no one has to be wrong, but it's okay to be able to say, I understand that we didn't see eye to eye on that, and that is okay, but I just want you to know that you're important, our relationship is important, and I still love you. There are places where, with the way the world is right now, that people can't talk about certain things, and that is okay. And so it's a time for us to really look at the relationships and say, what is more important? Is it more important that I'm right, or that I'm heard about my point of view, or is it more important to save the overall relationship that we've had for however many years, and that this person has always been important to me, and until we became so tribalized as a society globally that this friendship was important. And so it's just things to look at. Okay, this is also card 52, which is number 7, so 5 and 2 is 7, and so it gives us this reminder that we're not that we're running out of time, but it's important to do things before it's too late, okay, before the doors close. Okay, all right, so we're going to, I think that was everybody, right? All right, so, Laura Lou, thank you so much. I look forward to being with you all every week as well, which is very exciting. So, all right, we're going to pull one more card just to wrap everybody up. I always like to have one card for the collective before we end, and this is Fork in the Road, and this is card number 13, which 1 and 3 is 4, which is my favorite number to talk about, because 4 legs of the chair, 4 legs of the table, we are supported. So what a perfect place for us to end is Fork in the Road. And this reminds us that we have choice, that we have free will, and that we can choose. And it also reminds us that there is not a wrong choice to be made. There is not a wrong way to go. Okay, so when we go and if we feel like, I went and I saw the Wicked movie on Sunday. It was amazing. I totally highly recommend it. But I kind of came home beating myself up a little bit about eating a little bit too much popcorn. It is one of my weaknesses. It's one of my, I said to myself, it's one of my guilty pleasure foods. But you know what? It's not, because I don't feel guilty about it. And so I had changed this conversation in my brain about it. And this morning I was like, I know I'm not going to feel good tomorrow because I had popcorn today. I'm like, and this morning I felt great. I was like, okay. So, we can change our mindset. We can change how we are receiving information. We can change how we're processing information. And so Fork in the Road reminds us that we have much more choice and much more power than we think that we do. And that it's really important that we are the ones who are in charge of our destiny. And so if you make the wrong choice, let's say I shouldn't have eaten that popcorn because I'm trying to lose weight, then maybe that wasn't the best choice. So it's not the end of the world, but it's just perhaps going to take me a little longer to get to my goal because I took a longer way around by eating the popcorn. I don't know if that's a metaphor that makes sense or not. I hope it is. So when we choose what we might think, that was a poor choice, we're not derailed. We haven't wrecked it all. We're just going to take a little longer to go in the direction that we were thinking we were wanting to go. But if we take the right path, so then maybe we get there a little faster, but there's no wrong way. And so it's really important that we're understanding this with Fork in the Road. Fork in the Road is reminding us with that 4 number that we are supported, we are not alone in the universe, that we have free will, and that we have a lot more power than we think we do to manifest and create change, okay? And so, good, it made sense, okay? And so if you think that you're choosing the wrong way, there isn't one. It's just one that might be faster or slower, and that you're still going to get where you're meant to be in the time that you're meant to be there. Because you just will, because that's how the universe works. Now, having said all of that, I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being part of our community of light, for showing up and hanging out with me every Monday. It is just such a joy and a bright spot in my week. And I want to wish you all, if you are in America and you are celebrating Thanksgiving on Thursday, I want to wish you all a happy, healthy, peaceful, joy-filled Thanksgiving. And just know that all the people who are coming into your tables are there because they're important. You don't have to agree with everybody on everything. If we can value people because we value people, it was amazing. It would be amazing the changes we can create in our society. So I hope you all have a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I love you, and I want you to remember that you are loved, and I'll see you next week. Mwah.